Busking, by definition, is an act of street performance in public spaces to entertain the audience and receive voluntary donations. Oftentimes, busking refers to music performances where an individual or a group of people would exhibit their musical talent in exchange for tips and gratuities, including money, foods, and drinks. The origin of the word busking is from a French word, busquer, which means to seek. As people held public contests and competitions in songwriting during occasions of agricultural or religious festivals early as ancient Rome, the term busking gradually emerged to refer to people who would go about performing. As our group pondered upon the nature of busking, we thought that busking can be considered as a means of communication that potentially challenges or promotes a social or cultural view. In particular, we're related to the statement that busking requires a personal expression as we stepped out of our comfort zone and presented ourselves to an audience.
During the first several practices, our group was not even sure about what songs we should perform. But as we continued to choose our songs one by one, we were able to complete practicing all 5 songs. The challenging parts were definitely the limited number of people our group had. It took time for us to figure what instruments we should play in what songs and in what songs we should sing. I would say this was a big risk-taking since we all had to play at least 2 different roles, even roles that we did not prefer. But I think this could be a unique aspect of our group. On the other hand, I feel like because we had only 3 people in our group, there was a better chance of communicating with each other in terms of practicing. Currently, our songs are being more organized and revised, and one thing that I think our group should improve on is being more prepared in terms of writing the course on music, bringing music to school, and practicing at home.
After we've decided on the group members for the busking, our group was at first puzzled even to choose the songs to perform, as we were totally unaware of the audience's music preference and flavor. However, as we agreed upon to explore a variety of genres of music, we were able to navigate our song selection that suited our musical talent and ability. One concern we had was the absence of a drummer in our group, as a drum part would significantly support the rhythmic section of our performance. Nonetheless, we decided that the transportation of an actual drum kit would be unnecessary in our performance. Ultimately, after discussing among ourselves, we chose to perform in the school lobby someday during the week before the final exams. And as time passed, we figured out that Thursday, May 23rd, would be ideal, as it suited our schedule the most, and thus we aimed our practice to finish before the 3rd week of May. During our practice session, we struggled to gather our own parts into one single music, but we significantly improved ourselves through the continuous effort we devoted every class period by organizing and discussing our performance, polishing and refining our musical skills, and receiving mutual feedback within our teammates.
So initially, we didn't really have a clear plan established for our busking. Like, we didn't know what songs we would do or where we would do it or when. We had a few songs chosen initially, like just the 2 of us, but then we kept going back and forth. Eventually, after quite a lot of discussion, we had set a clear plan by choosing 5 songs that all of us could play. However, we knew that we had a challenging journey ahead of us because there were a few limitations that we needed to address. One of the concerns was that we were missing certain instruments, like drums, for example. However, we still went ahead with the songs we had chosen, even without any drums or any other instruments missing. And we had eventually worked very well amongst one another. And based on each person's ability, we had filled in certain selections with other instruments, such as with Bez with the melodica and more.
People couldn't believe what I've become. Revolutionaries wait for my hand on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever wanna be king? I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword, my shield, of missionaries in a foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, I know St. Peter will call my name, never run rule the world.
Before busking, I had no energy since we had only about 5 people who were watching. Also, since the song Married Life was slow and supposed to be played very softly, people did not really come to watch us. That was a challenging part because there was no cheering or clapping that would have made us more energetic. However, after the song, more people started to gather around us and we ended up having almost 50 people watching us. We also got 20만 won for donation and even performed just the 2 of us twice since we had time left. As we performed famous pop songs and had fast tempo and rhythms, people started to clap and enjoy our performance, which motivated me to play stronger and louder. I learned it is very essential to choose a famous song that consists of a strong rhythm and fast tempo in order to attract people. I was able to improve as a performer because since it was my first time performing on a non-official stage, like in the lobby, I was really able to enjoy the performance. And it was my first time singing in front of a lot of people, so it definitely improves me as a performer. Playing the piano is very different from singing because you only have to look at the music, but singers require eye contact and to look at the front. Therefore, I think I should try to look at the audiences instead of the ground next time so I can engage with more people.
Now, looking back at our busking performance and the practice sessions, I feel that most of it went quite well. During our busking session, we initially had a small audience of around 5 people. However, as we continued and neared the end of our session, we had ended it with around 50 audience members. In addition, we had raised a considerable amount of money through the donations. While I did mess up a few times during the actual performance, it was quite a fun experience for myself, and I felt that I was able to really develop as a musician. Despite having played for audiences multiple times in the past, I was really nervous because I was playing a new instrument that I didn't really have a lot of experience on, as I had been playing the bass for around 8 to 9 months. However, after having completed performing my busking session, I felt a sense of relief, as not only was this project finally coming to an end, but also I had finally been able to show my bass skills to an unfamiliar audience. In other words, I had been able to overcome my fear, and I would be more comfortable displaying my bass playing skills to other people next time. I felt that there's not much that can be done to continue developing as a group, as the 3 of us have been able to effectively collaborate and get most of the songs practiced in time. However, for myself, I will need to continue just practicing in my own free time in order to be able to further develop my own skills.
Above all comments and remarks regarding our busking performance, I really want to appreciate the 1-month journey of our busking group and recognize the hard work and dedication we've poured out during preparation, actual performance, and documentation. Comparing ourselves from the beginning of the unit, I believe we were able to achieve our initial goal, which was to perform a memorable and satisfactory busking. Throughout the preparation, I believe I was able to help other teammates in my group by helping out their practices and giving suggestions and feedback that would improve their performance. As I worked with different people to collaborate on a project, I was inspired to grow as a well-rounded musician who both exhibit good measures of musical and social skills in performance, with open-mindedness and care to our group members. Furthermore, I realized that one of the most important aspects in busking is receiving tips and donations, which we were able to consider and implement during our performance. In fact, to track people around the school community, our group created an advertisement poster and uploaded on Instagram, and we used an instrument case as a basket to gather people's donations. One thing that I've realized after the busking was that the importance of double-checking the sound system before the actual performance is crucial, as poor sound quality can lead to dissatisfaction among the audience. I also recently learned that it is important to keep the transition time between each song short, as the audience may be bored and uninterested by the prolonged wait. If I were to repeat this project, I would try to focus on my time management skills and plan out feasible goals to be accomplished per class in order to keep track of our progress. Ultimately, I've enjoyed publicly busking in front of a real audience, and I wish to continue my journey as a busker in future.